folks, back for another guitar lesson for you guys, another bluegrass guitar lesson. Just me and my Breedlove Revival DR-Deluxe, whom I have dubbed Thumper because it's definitely got a nice thump to it. This lick is something that I have taken just messing around one day, trying to figure out Tony Rice's descending style, and he uses this a lot. And before I forget to mention it, once I saw this, I realized what it was, and this is what I call short scales. And I go over that quite a bit in my Bluegrass Guitar Essentials course, which you can find out at bluegrassguitaressentials.com. I go over a lot on getting up and down the fretboard, and I talk about something called short scales, which is what this is. And it's a really quick way. It's using less notes, so it's a quicker way to get down the fretboard. And that's really some really good stuff in that. So definitely check that out. So as I was studying this, thinking about Tony Rice's, he does this a lot on a lot of different songs, how he gets down the fretboard. And it takes, trust me, this lick is pretty tough. It takes a while to get to where you can switch fast enough to hit the next note in the scale that you need. But I started with his descending style, and then I figured out something else I was messing around with, and I can't remember exactly what it was. Typically, when I get down here, I'm used to getting stuck on a certain way of playing down here, and I'll explain that as we go. So maybe I can think of some more stuff as we talk about this, but we're in the key of G, and so we're going to aim for right here. That's the 10th fret on the E string, which would be the, let's see, that's an E, that's a D. We're going to aim for that D note. I'm not good at naming notes on the fretboard, just in case you didn't know. I do well to figure out which fret I'm on half the time. So I think really I discovered this actual lick, and I'm saying this because this just come to me when I was messing around with the box 3. This is coming out of the box patterns, and this is box 3. And I was trying to mess around. I think I was messing around trying to figure out what to do with that pattern in bluegrass. And right now I'm just trying to play this stuff so I can remember what it was exactly that I did. I can't remember. See, this video was actually, I recorded this about a week ago, really. And I accidentally saved over that file when I was trying to convert it to a smaller file size. And I didn't realize what I'd done until it was after it was over, and I couldn't save the file, I couldn't salvage it from the memory card, so now I'm having to go back. So I've lost all that good stuff. And the original reason I found this lick, I lost all that stuff, so I'm having to re-record this, and it's a bummer. But so at least I still remember the lick, even though I don't remember how I eventually got there. Maybe I will as we go along. So let's just start from here on that high E string on the 10th fret. Now let me just show you the box shapes that's going to happen here first. We're going to go box 3, which is whole step, 10 to 8, and then we're coming up to the 11/8. And that's on that's all alternate picking, by the way. Down, up, down, up. And then the hard part is getting from here to here. Because we're going to actually, every time, we're going to, let's see, I think it's every time we're going to shift, we're going to come back to where our first finger is. That fret, not necessarily that string, it's going to be the E string. We end on the B, and we're going to begin on the E, okay? And that's tough to do. Trust me, when you do that another time, add it on to that, it's tough to do. I don't know how in the world Tony Rice figured that out, but he did, and it's a good way to get down the fretboard, even without using open string. So the first shape is this, whole step, and then a whole plus a half step. Then we're going to come down to where our first finger is on the E string, hit that, and this is two whole shapes, two whole steps. So we have I'd recommend first practicing the switch. And when you get that down, start slow. Now, you have a tendency to want to go early. When you do, it causes this thing to slide. You don't want to do that. You just want to be fast. This finger's got to lift in order for this one to get down. And when you get that far, you come down here and combine the two. And that's tough because your pinky's working in one and it's not working in the other. So I get confused a lot. Now after that comes the next one. This is box 2. We're going to go to box 1 of the minor pentatonic shape. Okay? And so we got to practice this shift not with our ring finger but with our pinky because that's the note we're going to use. So once we combine the two, then we're going to start with this shape and try the same thing but end up on the pinky note. And notice when you're going to the pinky, try to also let this finger aim for the 3rd fret because that's what we're going to come to, okay? And I didn't mention that before because I just now realizing. When you come to this note, try to let this finger aim for the 6th fret because that's the note you're going to come down to. So my finger's here, but I'm just practicing this transition right now. Okay, and once you get that, combine 3. Notice how I'm going faster. I'm starting slow and I'm going faster as I get more confident. After that, we've got these two shapes here, which is 2 whole step and half steps, which is going from the 6th to the 3rd both times. And since that's the end, we don't have to worry about coming back for another shift. So once you get that down, once you get that, then you combine all 3. Okay. Another thing that you could do is back and forth. Okay, so just work on that until you can do that smoothly, or because that's part of this lick. So I mean that's important. That's the first half. After we get down here, we're actually not going to pick that last note. That's going to be a pull off because of the next part that's coming. So even though you practiced it with a pick, it's okay because you're going to use it with a pull off. So just practice it either way. You can practice it with a picking part, or you can practice it with a pull off. Whatever you want to do. Either way, there's times you're going to use both. Okay. So here's what happens when we get down here to the end. And then we're going to come back. Tony Rice does this a lot. He comes back to that note, which I call this backtracking. Coming back to a previous note. And then we're just going to come down to that pull off again. So it's down, up, down, up, down. Okay. Now that's important. That happens a lot. You can take, as I mentioned in the Alison Krauss video towards the end, any part of this lick you can take and use a little section of that and create another lick. Maybe you decide you just like this, and you're like, I'm going to use that over and over again, and that's going to be a cool little flashy lick or whatever. That's fine. You can take and dissect every bit of this and use whatever pieces you want for, and maybe incorporate that into another song. You really need to be thinking along those lines if you're wanting to learn a lot of songs, adding to your bag of tricks, so to speak, that you can transpose and use in any song, not just, whatever song you may be learning it from. Okay, so after we get to this point, this is going to be the part I was telling you about that I usually come back and do that bar. Tony Rice does that a lot. I actually learned it from Eric Clapton. He used that a lot in his bluesy playing. So that's pull off and come down to that D, 5th fret, and then bar that back to that G, 5th fret. That part comes from Tony. Okay, but I wanted to get out of that habit. I wanted to try something different, and so instead of doing that, I was actually playing around this lick and messed around, just going all over the place, and accidentally discovered this. I really like the way that sounds. It goes from the bluesy minor sound to the more of a major sound. It's actually the perfect fifth versus the diminished fifth. The flat fifth, it gives it more of a major sound. Try to aim for that, 7th fret there. And so, like I said, my hands are trained to go, so I had to break that habit and go, I want to go, just do another pull off. Okay. So 7, 5, that's a slide, back and forth, 1 pick stroke, and then a pull off. So that's all 1 pick stroke, and then another pull off to the 3rd from the 5th on the D. And here's where we come back. Okay, so far we've got and then when we come back, we're going to hit this note again. Okay, and I wanted to match this sound, so I did that another step below that, and I went. Okay. I really like that note to the similar note from behind. It's kind of like a grace note slide. I use it a lot. Okay, so I like to use that, slide back and forth that. You can slide from the top as well, but that's not as fluid to me. It doesn't sound as good either. So far, that's what we've got. That's the end of it. Okay, it's a weird timing. It's kind of like a syncopated timing by the time you get to that right there. That kind of stops the normal timing, and it shifts into like a weird timing. But that is down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, pull off, up on that E, pull off again. Now I'm walking down the scale. Let's see. Slide, pull off, come back to that previous note on the G string 5th fret, and then make this finger come down, come immediately to the slide on that. That's a downstroke from the 3rd to the 5th, and that's another slide back and forth. We went on that one, we're going to go on that one. Then we're going to release it with a pull off, and then pull off on the D string 3rd fret, and then slide it up to that G note on the 5th fret of the D string. A lot of instruction there, but let me just slow it down. It's going to be easier for you to watch this, and instead of me having to explain it. Typically, I also slide with that ring finger as opposed to the first finger. I just like the way it feels a little bit better. Plus, it gives me more options if I need to come back up here for anything. Right here, I'm kind of stuck going forward instead of forward and backwards. Okay, so let me slow that down a little bit more. Pay attention to the picking hand now, and let's see, make sure I'm in the camera right. Okay, now this is going to be the 3rd fret. Okay, you can't see the nut, but this is going to be the 3rd fret. All right, let's try that. Oops. Okay, hope you can see that. Now, a lot of problems that people have with some of these videos is they'll ask me, well, why do you use that in a song? And sometimes I get so excited about the lick that I forget to mention that. Well, today I've decided to use I Have Found the Way as the actual song. And so let me do a little bit of that and show you where this lick would come in and see if I can try to do it. It's going to come in on the second half of the solo. So we'll see, and it's going to be part of the verse on I Have Found the Way. So I'm going to sing a little bit of it, play it, and then start from my normal solo and then add that lick in there, okay? We'll see what happens. This is where you could put it in a song. And remember, if you can't fit it all in there, start from somewhere. Don't start from the high part, start from somewhere else, okay? You don't have to fit the whole thing in, but I'm going to try to do that. See, I have found a way that leads to endless day, yonder in the glory land, and the road is bright, for Jesus is the light, and I hold to His guiding hand. I found the way. I have found the way. Glory, hallelujah. I found the way. Try that again. It's a little messy. I got my picking messed up, so we'll try that again. Now you can fit it in there. Obviously it's tough, it's difficult, especially when you're putting strums in there, and you got to remember my next stroke has to be a down stroke to get this to work. Because if I'm doing up, down, it's going to crash and burn me. And it's not going to work out. So that is it for this lick. I hope you really enjoyed it. Actually, if you wanted to learn the actual solo of I Have Found the Way, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if it's not on my Bluegrass Guitar Essentials DVD, it's definitely here on YouTube. I've recorded it somewhere. I can't remember exactly where because I do so many different videos. But if you can't find I Have Found the Way, I know I do a performance, I think, on YouTube. But if you can't find the solo on there, then it's definitely on Bluegrass Guitar Essentials. Just go check that out at bluegrassguitaressentials.com. And that will be in the Songs and Fiddle Tunes portion, if I'm not mistaken, of the course, which is closer to the middle or the end. So, guys, thanks so much for watching, and please check out bluegrassguitaressentials.com. Like I said, all kinds of stuff in there. The short scales that I mentioned, using pentatonic scales is very important in bluegrass, and that's basically what this was all derived from. Every bit of this is pretty much pentatonic, every bit of this lick that I showed you. Please check that out, and please thank you for subscribing. Please like this video if you like it, and share it with your friends, and head on over to the actual channel part of this of my video channels, of my YouTube channel, the Guitarpreneur page. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a fan funding option there. There's also a link that you can use to purchase, you know, anything that I mention that you can buy on Amazon. It leads to Amazon. The actual link is ericbeatty.com/shop, and it's an affiliate link, which shows whenever you purchase anything through Amazon, I get a small commission from that, and that shows your support for this channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Amazon just gives me a little bit of a tip, so to speak, for referring you to their products, which I recommend Amazon. I shop there all the time. That's the first place I go to look for anything, music or books or anything else that I talk about here on this channel. So thanks so much for your support. I appreciate it. I'm going to get off here and try to spend some time later on, maybe thinking about some more ideas for you guys. I know that you request Tony Rice licks a lot, so I'm trying to think more along those lines lately. But I've got some other stuff that I definitely want to work on and show you guys as well. Some other things, maybe by Brian Sutton and some other people. So I'm going to get off here right now and enjoy the rest of this beautiful, lovely day. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. Appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next video, whatever it may be. And hope this really helped. Please leave your comments below and let me know what you think about it. Thanks so much, and God bless.